But digressing, let's get to Pacquiao Thurman, which obviously was the marquee fight of the weekend, and maybe it's going to be up there. Rob might disagree on this, but the marquee fight of the year thus far, in my opinion. It seems like it. Though there is a close number two, and I know what it is. It's Josh Ruiz, but
You said number two.
and honestly, in terms of pure metrics, maybe Canelo Jacobs is actually bigger than Joshua Ruiz, but it didn't have the after viral effect that AJ Ruiz had, right? For example. So digressing from that, Pacquiao Thurman, probably the biggest fight of the year, arguably the biggest fight of the year. Did it deliver? Yeah, it did. It was awesome. I watched it again, scored it again, and I'll give my score in a second. It was just as entertaining the first time, to be honest. And on top of that, it's a really good fight when it's just like blowing by. Like the rounds are just flowing. Like there's no time where you're looking at your watch. You're getting tired looking at your phone. Like I just was watching it, and like 36 minutes went by, and the fight was over, and it was awesome, and I was entertained by it again. So that sort of shows how good of a fight it was. It may not be fight of the year, but it's definitely going to be up there in at least the conversation. I think when we hit December, it would be in the top 10, 15 probably by that time. Pacquiao looked fantastic. I scored it for Thurman upon second watch. Even the first watch, I scored it even more so for Thurman. On the second watch, I scored at 114, 113 for Keith Thurman, though there's 4 key rounds that I view as swing rounds, which you could score either way. And I just happened to score 3 of those 4 to Keith Thurman, and that swung it over to a 7-5 score with obviously the 10-8 round, so it's 114, 113. But I have zero issue with Manny Pacquiao winning. On top of that, even upon second watch, I was like, man, how do I have it for Thurman? It doesn't feel right. Like, I'm watching the fight, and to use the Max Kellerman line, the story of the fight is clearly Pacquiao's looking great, and Thurman's having to react, having to adapt, having to sort of adjust to everything Pacquiao's doing. And on top of that, it was quite clear that one guy's shots were having a more desired effect. Even though I was scoring more rounds for Thurman, those 2 points cannot be sort of taken away from the fight, even if you score it for Thurman, like I did. Pacquiao, I'm not going to say look like the Pacquiao of old, but he kind of did. Like, this was vintage Pacquiao in a way at 40 years old. The last great fight that's even close to this for a guy of this age would be like Hopkins versus Pascal, something of that nature. This was just a fantastic showing from Manny Pacquiao. On top of that, for Keith Thurman, again, depending how you score those 4 swing rounds, because if you score all those rounds that I score for Thurman that are swing rounds, this narrative doesn't hold true as much. But Thurman's second sort of half performance of the fight was fantastic. I thought his defense sort of came together. He was able to slip shots a little bit more efficiently. And on top of that, his shots were starting to land more. His body work was starting to add up. He was just overall more effective in the second half of the fight. Though, again, if you score all those swing rounds for Manny Pacquiao, the narrative more probably closely looks like Thurman in rounds and in spots was being effective, but was never really able to string together long periods of effectiveness and success within the fight. And that's probably what led him to lose this fight, is that he was never able to really string together 3, 4, 5 rounds together and win them all. Pacquiao did that, honestly, in the first half of this fight. Though 1 round you could give to Thurman, maybe 2 in the first 6. You could give all 6 rounds to Manny Pacquiao. And on top of that, you have the 10-8 round. So Thurman doesn't have that in the second half as much as Pacquiao had in the first half. Rob, your thoughts on sort of the in-ring action from Pacquiao and Thurman?
Yeah, I thought it was a good fight. It felt big. I guess we'll wait on numbers, but yeah, it felt big. And yeah, Manny Pacquiao rolling back the years, really. I think for me, the knockdown made the difference. I think that's for me, like Pacquiao by a round, maybe 2. I could see people like a draw, things like that. But I think for me, the knockdown made the difference, and it just really, I don't know. I want to see a real good, like a different camera angle on it, because I've seen it a few times, and I think Manny pumps out like the double jab, and he goes downstairs to the body with a straight, like left hand, and then Thurman's got his hands down, and the hook. I don't think it wasn't like really like cleaned him up, like full swing. It was enough like off balance. And I want to just personally, I want to see like a different shot where maybe we see the feet, because to me it didn't look like a huge crisp, shake you to your boots kind of shot. It just, whether there was Manny was maybe stood on his foot, or there was a tangle, or maybe Thurman's footwork wasn't quite there. He was like backing out with his hands down, got clipped, but it didn't seem like a real, like a heavy shot. Thurman seemed to jump up okay and, I don't know, finish out the round kind of comfortably. I think, but yeah, and I know going into it, people were like, oh, is Thurman's heart still in it? Is he still in love with boxing? I think he showed he's still like, it's still there. The fire still burns, because he dug deep. There was a body shot. I forgot what round it was, and had he took a knee, I think he knew the fight was done. Like there was, it was definitely getting away from him then, and he stayed up.
Round 10. Round 10 was the final shot.
That was a really good body shot, and many a guy would have taken a knee on that one. But I think he felt like, I can't, because this fight's close. At this point, and I think he showed some sort of champion. He's a champion, and I think that fire is still there for the sport. I think he looked like he obviously trained really hard for it, and put the work in. And so, shout out, really good fight. I know some people think I'm here to hate on the American stuff, but no, it was a really good fight. But I just think the knockdown was the difference, like Manny by a round or a point. I think that was the difference for me.
Yeah, I have no issue with that. I think that Manny Pacquiao at most was the more damaging guy in the ring, right? Like at most, he was a guy that maybe was like losing rounds at times, but especially in the second half, but he was still damaging the opponent far more than Keith Thurman was. Keith Thurman really, his punches had no desired effect on Manny Pacquiao, except for maybe a little bit in round, I think it was like 11 or so. He hit him with the right hand a couple times, and Pacquiao backed up, but never wobbled him, never really hurt him. It was quite impressive to see Pacquiao sort of take on a young, undefeated champion like Keith Thurman and do what he did. A lot of people now are talking about him because of beating Thurman, now surpassing Floyd Mayweather sort of in his generation. And I can see the argument. Like, Mayweather never really did this. How many times were people asking for Mayweather to fight Thurman, Danny Garcia, Sean Porter, Earl Spence? Those were fights that were all talked about at some point in time for Floyd Mayweather from the fans. And Mayweather never paid any mind for them, right? Like,
Shot.
Yeah. And I think I can see why people now are viewing, Pacquiao has now surpassed what Mayweather has done in terms of his total career. I'm not sure if I 100% am on board with that argument, but I can see why they have that argument. I am almost positive now we're going to get a Mayweather-Pacquiao too, so we're going to find out who's better now. So hopefully it doesn't matter. Hopefully we don't have to have this argument by the end of May 2020? Is that what we're thinking here, Rob? Do we get Pacquiao Mayweather 2 in May?
I hope not, but maybe.
Why?
Huh?
Why? You don't want it?
No, just let him. He's retired. I'm done watching Floyd Mayweather fight. He's 42 or whatever he is. I don't know. I don't think. I can't remember where I heard this, but I agreed with it. Maybe it was the Pugmire or was it? Oh no, I think it was Mannix and Keith Idec, and Idec mentioned that For Conor McGregor, he didn't train because he didn't have to. For Nasakawa or whatever his name was, he just came in huge and bullied. But the full rigors of a camp, I think maybe Manny looked too good for this to happen. Now, I think Mayweather watching on from ringside, which, by the way, I've seen people like, what was the point of having him there if he wasn't if they weren't going to kind of ask the question or go to him and do something with him being there. But he was actually, Mayweather Promotions was like the promoter of one of the events. I led Ella was all over. Mayweather Promotions were Pacquiao was just won the world title, and there's other titles out there, although I don't know if we're going to get to it, but it doesn't look like. Say again?
I'm there. Sorry. Don't worry about it.
Hello?
I'm here. Rob.
I don't know what's going on.
Rob, I can hear you just fine.
Okay. Yes, I can.
Yeah, I know.
I can hear.
You can't see me, but you can hear me.
Now, yeah, but it went completely silent for a while.
Don't worry about it. I'm back.
Okay, good. But yeah, I don't know if we're going to get to it, but Manny Pacquiao's team kind of suggested that Spence go and do something. What have you done? So
yeah, let's talk about that. I don't have the tweet up. I apologize. I forget who posted it, but they were talking to Sean Gibbons, obviously the manager of Manny Pacquiao, and he said basically to the effect, paraphrasing, but basically to the effect.
You read it?
Yeah.
It said, at Manny Pacquiao's right-hand man, Knucklehead Sean, which is Sean Gibbons, isn't keen on a fight with Errol Spence Jr. Quotes, what has Errol Spence done? So he's a great fighter? Go fight Terence Crawford. And says that Pacquiao has already fought great fights before and has nothing to prove. So, yeah.
I mean, are we surprised? Pacquiao had a really tough fight with Thurman, even though most people thought he won. He did have a tough fight with Thurman that cannot be disputed. Spence is a different animal than Thurman in 2019. I'm not surprised.
And let's not forget when Manny beat Broner, he put out a poll, who should I fight next? And Spence wasn't on it. And now it's, wow, Spence hasn't done anything. Go and do something. Go fight Crawford. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that's how it looks. And I guess PBC's plan for Spence was to get this Pacquiao fight in before a Crawford fight to give him, that boost in star power and prove he's like, the true A side and get the better end of the deal. And you've got to come to us. We're not going to you, that kind of thing. So, yeah, I don't know what will be next for. I'm telling you, if there's enough money still out there and they offer it and wave it at Pacquiao, I can still see the Amir Khan fight happening in Jeddah or wherever in Saudi Arabia.
We could get the Amir Khan fight still. That is signed, right?
According to somebody who told Amir, who then told the world, it's done, or there's a deal, or there's I don't know, but I think if the money's there, I think Pacquiao would take it, no problem.
This might sound weird, but do we even really want Spence Pacquiao? Like, should we be pushing for that fight in a way?
Or is the best versus the best, don't we?
Yeah, but the best versus the best isn't necessarily Pacquiao versus Spence. It's Spence versus Crawford, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. But, we want to see the best fights, champions fighting champions. So we should want it. I don't know if people do, but I wouldn't mind it. It just, I don't know. There's something like some kind of sort of, I don't know, boxing, like, I don't know. Seen a whole lot of I know they call like Pactards and stuff like that and all this stuff. But there seems to be like a lot of love for Pacquiao, and I don't know whether they would feel like, let's not let Spence come along and spoil it. And there's like this like kind of boxing love story going on with Pacquiao winning this return at 40 years old and things like that. And it's like, do we want Spence to kind of mess that up? Because this has got some legs. Let's keep him hot while he's hot. I don't know, but I wouldn't mind seeing it. Just find out who is the actual. Because a lot of people feel Spence is the guy at 147, or
Yes.
there's a lot, I guess, in the Crawford camp. But obviously, people can sit and wait and wonder as far as finding out between those two. But now Pacquiao, I know Thurman's off a long layoff, and he didn't look good against Lopez. But I mean, interesting stat has come out from like the punch stats. Apparently, Thurman has landed more punches on Manny Pacquiao than Manny Pacquiao's last 43 opponents. So, don't know what that kind of says. He still lost, but I think that maybe gives it the impression that Thurman gave a real good effort and just came up short. But and interestingly, Broner saying that Thurman got cooked. I've seen many people saying, "Well, if Thurman got cooked, what did you get?"
Yo, we're definitely
getting
we are definitely getting Thurman versus Broner next.
Definitely,
like 100%. After Broner gets his tune-up against Ivan Redkach, we're gonna get Thurman versus Broner on Fox main event. Sorry, Showtime. Though actually, that would be interesting because wait, is the Redkach fight Fox? That's FS1, isn't it, or Fox? What is that?
Broner Redkach? I don't know. Was there a broadcaster giving out with the information?
No, but I'm curious because usually Broner's more of a Showtime guy, right? So
been second to Wilder for numbers, right?
Yeah, so I'm curious if Showtime's able to grab a Thurman Broner fight, which would do good numbers for Showtime, or if Fox is able to get that. Just curious of who out of the PBC network is able to win that battle, because from what we know now, they bid on them. That's what it sounds like, right? What was that? Tim Smith, right? Didn't Tim Smith sort of allude to that on the PBC podcast? And sort of take it back a little bit? Or was it Chris Mannix? Who did that?
What said it's like a bidding process.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was Tim Smith, and then he kind of went, but we kind of share them out.
Yeah, okay. So they bid them. That's what they do.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see a bidding war between Fox and Showtime that we never hear about, but that's there under the surface for Thurman Broner, because Showtime's going to go hard for that one because they've built up both those guys into massive stars. Whew, can't wait. But digressing from that point, because I do think that's a great tune-up fight for Thurman, and plus it's a big fight in a way. Everyone would want to watch it. The press conferences are going to be pretty entertaining, right? Yeah. So I'm all in favor of that fight. Pacquiao Mayweather, I'm all in favor of that rematch. I know you aren't. I'm 100% in favor of that. If it somehow, because of that, leads to after Spence beats Porter, because we all think Spence beats Porter, and Crawford takes care of his mandatory, we get Crawford-Spence 2020 first quarter, first half. That's a beautiful world we can live in. And you know what, Rob? As someone that you've been telling for a long time now to be a little more optimistic, I'm going to be optimistic and live in that world. And
I don't like it.
Oh, I love that. That's good for boxing right there. If we get Spence Crawford and Mayweather Pacquiao too.
I meant I don't like optimistic Matt.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's making me feel a little bit sick.
No,
I'm good. It's good. It's good. Yeah, and like you say, Thurman Broner would be just mental kind of build up. What did he say? What else did Broner say? Oh, you didn't see me having to get up off the canvas against Manny Pacquiao. To which I saw so many people saying, yeah, and we didn't see you throw a punch either.
On top of that, he alluded to the fact that Thurman was gambling in Vegas or something before the fight, and it was like, Broner. Yeah, okay, pot, meat kettle.
Thank you, Broner, my financial advisor. Fuck me.
Again, we're going to talk about Pacquiao's sort of legacy later on with Santiago, because Santiago knows, let's be honest, more about boxing history than me and Rob combined. And what? You're going to really scoff at that, Rob?
I was just putting in a face.
Well, let's be honest. And I'll be honest, too. When you saw that list from Patrick Connor, how many of those names did you not know?
Did I not know?
Yeah.
That's the longer version of answering the question.
Because a lot of the list was just last names.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it now. I know. Yeah, maybe not some of them. I will need
Yeah,
human box rec to help us out. By the way, people checking out box rec tomorrow. There's some kind of huge update going to be happening, and it'll be down every so often tomorrow. So if you're wondering why box rec's playing up, that's why.
Yep. Arthur making a really good point in the chat, saying if they can make Wilder Fury 2 and announce it, why can't they make Spence Crawford? Absolutely agree with that. Like it's like everything's on the table now, guys. Like we can't put that
Has
off.
it been announced?
It's been soft announced.
All right.
Right? Like it's not a hard announcement of like, hey, this is the date, venue, here's a press release. No, not that. But
It's an Instagram post, and
both fighters have said, hey, we've agreed to this, and it's going to be in the first quarter of next year. Fury came out with a date. It's a soft announcement. Come on, you can't deny that. Digressing. Let's move on because again we're gonna get to Pacquiao's legacy later on the show. Ugas versus Figueroa Jr. God, this fight was rough. This fight,
Figueroa, yeah.
oh, for everyone, man. Like this fight was rough to watch. I can't believe this fight ended up being boring, in a way, or just ugly. I thought Figueroa was holding consistently, and then halfway through the fight, like Ugas started holding a lot too. It was just weird. It was an odd fight that on paper made sense, but when we got it, did not turn out so pretty. Ugas won clearly. I think a fight maybe against Lipinets makes sense. That'd be a fun action fight. I'm down for that. At least it's a fun action fight on paper. God knows how it turns out. Rob, did you catch this fight?
Yeah, I've seen. Where did I get up to with this? I kind of knew what was the rest of it once I saw like half of it, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
Yeah, people saying, "Oh, we've got a Figueroa in shape. Watch out, it could be something."
No, he was not.
No, it was bad. Yeah, he got a real. Ugas dealt with him very comfortably. But yeah, what next for Ugas? Obviously, a lot of people felt he beat Porter. Now he's coming off of like this win as well. I don't know. I'm sure he'll probably get another final eliminator soon. But yeah, we'll see how it all pans out. But yeah, I think a few people felt this would be a good fight, and kind of wasn't.
Yeah, depressing. Moving on, Luis Neri defeating Juan Carlos Payano, and actually a really tough back and forth fight for Neri, in a fight that I wasn't really expecting. Payano brought that 500 fight amateur career out of his tool bag, and he was ready to go. Man, he was on his toes, jabbing, negating the offense of Neri quite well. And Neri, not really the cleanest offensive fighter. I think Payano probably watched a lot of tape and saw that and took advantage of it. However, Neri's younger, faster, stronger, and hits fucking hard, and eventually did get him with a brutal body shot KO in the 9th round. However, I do think this fight, in a lot of people's mindset, that Inoue is the top guy at 118. And Neri, while really talented, really good, he is not Inoue. Inoue seems like he is something else. Like he's an alien. He is otherworldly. Rob, did you catch this fight?
No, I haven't seen this. I was driving back from the O2 at the time, and you were telling me.
Driving back from the O2, look at me, Mr. Big Shot.
I went to a fight. Get over it. But yeah, you were like, damn, Neri's struggling with Payano. And I was like, really? Is he losing? I can't remember what you said, but yeah, no, it was crazy. I know a lot of people were quite high on Neri. And, going in, he just missed weight. I know it's like half a pound, but that's always been a question mark with him as well. He made the weight, obviously, but Payano always been like a tough guy. I think until Inoue, no one had stopped him or anything like that. And yeah, Neri was supposed to do similar things to Inoue, but it didn't happen.
Agreed. Caleb Plant, though, holy shit. I knew he was gonna make an example of Mike Lee because Mike Lee just did not belong at this level. Like he never had, even with the undefeated record, he had never proven to be at this level. Sort of like Shawnee Monahan. I just like he got here by being some sort of name value from like another sport or something. I don't know. Who cares? And Caleb Plant treated him as such and defeated him via TKO in the third round, knocked him down 4 times, I think, total. Once in the first round, I think 3 times in the final round. It was just completely one-sided. I hope that we get a Benavidez Anthony Durrell winner versus Caleb Plant next because I have no desire now to see Caleb Plant fight like subpar competition because he is just so clearly levels above them now that he needs to fight top 10, top 15 guys all the time now. Otherwise, I don't care to see it.
He needs to fight the other.
That'd be a great fight too.
Yeah, we need to see him better than Mike Lee. I'm sorry,
Period.
But that was just not.
Hell, I even take Chris Eubank over Mike Lee.
Yeah, all day long, easily. I don't know what you even meant by that. That's obvious. So, no hate, obviously, but yeah, no, Plant, yeah, it's good. Hopefully, he's getting some real shine off this. I mean, he did tweet that no marks, no nothing on my, no bruises, no nothing on my face, and someone put but no legitimate opponent.
I'm curious to see the viewership.
Huh?
I'm curious to see the viewership on Fox.
Yeah, this was the pre-pay-per-view stuff, right? So, yeah, I'm sure we'll get some figures on that fairly soon.
Agreed. Sergey Lepinets defeated J.R. Ensign via TKO. He came in on 1 day's notice. We don't need to say anything else. It was just a brutal KO. Sergey Lepinets fight Udonis Ugas. I love that fight. 2 top 10 guys versus each other. Winner then fights, let's say, a top guy, like a legit top guy. Mm-hmm. All in favor of that. Efe Agaba fought Ali Demizirin, who was a undefeated Olympic 2016, right? 2016 Olympic fighter. Mm-hmm. Fought Filip Hrgovic and lost in the first round, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. Ali gave him that work, to be honest. The scorecards were atrocious. Adelaide Bird came back, guys, as we were talking about on an earlier show. And she scored at 99-91 for Efe. And look, Efe won, but first off, it was an ugly fight. Secondly, Efe struggled. It was a tough fight. I think clearly he needs a lot of work. And on top of that, he needs to be quicker. Like, he just looked kind of slow in there at times. Slow to react, slow to move. Like, I don't know how to fix that. I'm not a strength and conditioning coach, but he needs to fix that. He needs to be a little bit quicker to the draw. Otherwise, these top guys are going to chew him up because he's too tall, too upright, too robotic, and too slow to hang with these top guys. And Ali is not a top guy, clearly. But he is just a good amateur, sort of a good prospect with amateur pedigree. So Efe needs to get a lot more work in before I think we talk about him as like a Daniel Dubois, for example, who could be fast-tracked towards the top 10, top 15 if he wanted to be, because he's that talented, that skilled. Efe is not, and clearly is not.
No, his footwork was
poor.
Yeah, he's got a lot to work on. I think the brakes can be well and truly pumped on that sort of mini hype train, if you know what I mean. But look, don't get me wrong. I think if you check him out on BoxRec, he's now moved to number 25. So
that makes sense.
It was a high guy as far as BoxRec was concerned. I think he was like 25 or something. So he's sort of took his spot. But yeah, clearly a lot to work on. But early days, I'm not saying the guy is rubbish. But there's things to iron out and work on. So yeah. Still obviously tune into the guy because when he gets it right, he's entertaining to actually watch, brutal knockouts and things like that. So still one to keep an eye on, not sort of turning your back on.